They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We have such sights to show you.
Who's laughing now?
Drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. I'll be the play you ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
They're here.
Hey, Marlene. Don't worry. Bree will be right back. She got booted off, but she will be right back on. And I am here as well, but you just can't see my face, people. I apologize.
It's just me. This is weird.
I'm sorry. I didn't think this would happen.
It's okay. I was like trying to connect and I couldn't. So I understand.
It will happen from time to time. How are you tonight, though?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well. We have a very fun topic tonight, but before we start, obviously Lex can't make it tonight. Apologies for that, guys, but she is heading out of state, so good for her. Hope she has a good trip.
Yeah.
What do you call it? And how was your weekend? You got a 3-day weekend? I hope you did something fun.
I actually broke my nail. It sounds like dumb, but the bottom of it was really broken and it had an acrylic and the top was broken too and I had to go somewhere. Like, this is a fake nail. The bottom one was so broken.
Oh, no.
So they did a good job. I was like, I have a nail because the other one was like completely broken and shattered. And then I have the fake one on top. But.
Whew. Yeah, that's not great. I'm sorry.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. He was like trying to get it out sweating. I was like, okay. He was like, does it hurt? I was like, yeah. It hurts.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Oh, man.
Well,
you know what also hurts?
What?
Being abducted by aliens sometimes.
They do torture. I was thinking of that. I was like, thank God I was not abducted and being tortured and experimented on because I'm like here with the nail, like sweating, like.
That's a good point. I do have a question for the audience tonight. I have a question for you too, by the way. This is for everyone, but I want your answer first. What movie alien would you want to be abducted by if you had a pick?
Ooh, maybe E.T.
E.T. That's exactly what I was thinking. Oh man, that is a great pick.
Fun. And I know there wouldn't be any. I'm afraid to say it. There would be no anal probing with that one.
I don't know about that. He's got that weird finger, it's got the glowing.
But I think about it. He has that weird finger, but I think he'd be friendly enough.
Friendlier. I get that. I totally get that. Oh man.
You would probably like ask first or something, but
I think that's an important thing to remember, to ask before you probe people. That's fair.
I do like the Independence Day aliens too, but not to be abducted by them.
Yeah, that seems like you're not going to get out of that situation anytime soon. Yeah, that sounds a bad one.
I grew up watching that movie, so I love seeing the aliens.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, that's such a good movie. I mean, yeah. Don't judge me, but I haven't seen the second part yet.
Oh, the new movie?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it either.
It just didn't look as good to me. I don't know why. But sooner or later.
Sooner or later, you're going to watch it?
Yeah, sooner or later.
I do love Aliens because Ripley is a badass. Like, that was supposed to be a man, but they made it into a woman.
I think that's a great call. She did such a wonderful job.
Oh, total badass. I love her. And she rescues the cat and everything. And her underwear.
Yeah, you don't get much more badass than that, honestly.
Goals, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, all right. So I have got an alien abduction story for you to kick us off. If you'd like me to start, or do you want to start?
Oh, you start.
All right. No worries. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to screen share. If I can get this picture up on. That's too small. It's going to look a little funky. But we have Betty and Barney Hill. And this is one of the very first cases of really reported alien abduction in the U.S. Now, there's been stories that have been as far out as like the medieval times or Greece, where they will report seeing aliens. They will report seeing something in the sky. That old burning chariot in the sky kind of description. But right here, it's hard to see them. I apologize. Betty and Barney Hill. Come on, let's get a little. That's as close as it's going to let me get right now. Betty and Barney Hill was a couple in the 60s. And in 61, they reported a loss of time as they were traveling out of state for a vacation. And, they pretty much ignored it for a little while. They thought, whatever, we'll be fine. Not a big deal. But certain things started happening to him. For instance, Barney Hill, the gentleman there, as you saw in the picture, he actually had some bruising around his groin area, and he had some warts showing up in a perfect circle. So, needless to say, he probably freaked out a bit. Their outfits were dirty. Wait, one more time?
What if he just cheated on his wife and he's like, yeah, it was aliens?
I mean, I've never used the alien defense myself, but I've never cheated either, so I don't know. I don't think that's going to work. I don't think it's going to fly. Would you believe someone telling you, oh, aliens did it to me?
No.
Yeah, yep. So they end up going to a hypnotherapist, and Betty wants to talk to the Air Force, which they get a hold of. They talk to other people, friends, close confidants. But the problem is Barney is not into it. I mean, he is completely against going to anybody for help. He does not like what's happening to him. He's very scared of the situation. Well, it seems like Betty in this situation made out with more of an adventure versus a straight up abduction and probing and experimentation, which once they go into her hypnotherapy sessions, they do experiment on her a little bit as well, but it seems that poor Barney Hill got the bulk of the problems. In fact, it turns out Barney died at the age of 46, while Betty lived until she was 85 years old. She lived until 2004. So there's a big difference between those two right there. And then, well, look who's checking in real quick.
Hey, Len.
There we go. Miss you already, but yes, you're doing a wonderful job. I appreciate it.
I just see myself. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
that helps.
I'm glad to be here, and I'm because this is probably one of my favorite stories right here, because it was a couple that people respected in their area. They weren't looking for aliens or anything. They were just out on vacation. They were just going over from New Hampshire to over the border to Canada and back. A wife and couple doing their thing, and then completely lives change. It's one of those moments where it created the tropes that we hear about aliens. People were going up to them, and they ran into a group of construction people on the road in their heads, and they saw those lights in the sky, and those little similarities you hear in other stories, like the cigar-shaped spaceship or cigar-shaped ship in the air. That stuff all takes place in their story, and it's a very credible story because they are, again, very respected. He worked for the government in the post office, which I know isn't a super high ranking anything, but he was trusted with stuff. She wasn't looking for attention really, but she did appreciate what happened to her. So it's weird. It's very weird that it would happen to somebody like this. I mean, you hear a lot of stories where people, I don't know, they are looking for these kind of things, and it's hard to believe when they say it happens. Yeah. But for them, it's the complete opposite. It's complete happenstance. There's no way that it would just be them looking for aliens, because they are one of the very first, if not the first story.
I read about them and I was researching them too, but what I found interesting about them, since they were one of the first people, they didn't have anything to compare it to. Like, they couldn't copy anybody. So it's like more legit.
100%. 100% agree with that. Because, there's nothing for them to feed off of. I think the only thing really at the time, as far as like if we talked about aliens, a lot of us would think of like a certain, like we said, aliens from Independence Day or E.T., or we'd have things to reference. For them, I think it was Outer Limits was like the only TV show or like media that had aliens in it, and it was not how they described it kind of aliens. So it's completely different. It's a new experience, but I don't know. I believe them. I don't know about you though. What do you think?
I do, but I think what's so terrifying about abductions is that if you get taken to space, like it's hard to come back. I find that so terrifying. Like, can you imagine being the first people, like, trying to tell somebody that, but they were not taken to space, right? They just saw them.
Yeah, I think in their lost, time that they were missing, they were taken aboard their ship for the experimentation, especially on Barney. But I don't know if it said that they were, taken like off planet or like taken somewhere farther away. Mm-hmm. But very much it's a possibility, because they come and go as they please, or at least
like you're in space. It's not like you can run to your house or anything like that. But
no, you're pretty much trapped there. There's no emergency button you just hit and you're back home. You are on there for the ride.
And tagline, in space, no one can hear you scream.
Oh, I love it. I do love it. Yeah, I love that alien.
But I remember hearing about them and their story, and like what sounded more legit. They didn't have anything to compare it to. Like they couldn't copy anybody.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that's one of the reasons I believe them so much. Mm-hmm. So that's basically Betty and Barney Hill in a nutshell. There's again, they are one of the first cases.
Yeah.
So it's hard for them to really muster up a story, because they're not trying to make a story. They're just trying to tell what happened to them and trying to figure out what happened to them themselves. Which one was there any story that you wanted to talk about in particular as far as abductions go?
It was hard to find stories that I found legit, because it's hard to believe some people, because I think they're probably going to go for the cash grab, So I try to find people who had witnesses to it. But I found one, Travis Walton. He was abducted near Hebrew, Arizona. There's a movie about him called Fire in the Sky.
Yes. Oh, and real quick, Marlene, I've got a special someone here for you. There we go.
I was just staring at myself.
Gosh, finally. So sorry about that, guys. Right as we were about to go live, my Wi-Fi decided to go out. So I'm on my phone right now. So it's going to be a little wibbly wobbly. So
no worries.
We got to make do, right? But I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here in Arizona chapter. Girls, Gore, and Jen. How's everybody doing?
Yo.
Happy to have you.
Good. Thank you. I appreciate that. So what are you guys talking about? What'd I miss?
Travis Walton. Yeah.
Travis. Absolutely. Travis Walton, probably one of the most, if not the most famous abduction stories that's out there.
And he was in Arizona. He was abducted in Hebrew, Arizona.
Absolutely.
He was just a blue-collar guy. And I was like, that is crazy. And I was telling Miguel that I was trying to find people that had witnesses to the abduction, because there's like a lot of people that say they were abducted, but I don't believe them. They seem like they just want the money, or they're not mentally well.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, a little backstory. I think I have a little bit of an affinity for Travis Walton. I'm actually, was at one point friends with one of his cousins, Steve, and I had no idea that it was the same Walton, the same family, because Walton's a pretty common last name.
Were
it's
you like
Smith.
fangirling, or were you just like?
Well, how it happened is that we were just talking on the phone one day, and I'm absolutely obsessed with movies, and so I was talking about some of my favorite sci-fi movies, and then I just happened to bring up Fire in the Sky as one of my favorite movies.
I just watched that. I barely watched that.
You just saw it? How'd you like it? Were you into it?
I really liked it. It starts off like a true crime because I love true crime. Yeah. And I was like, wow. And then like when he gets abducted by the aliens, like that is so creepy. I was like, yeah. But he really said one of the things that Hollywood did that's different from that didn't happen was like, when he wakes up and he's floating around, right? That didn't happen.
Right.
That's not true.
Well, you gotta spice it up to make it interesting. You know what I mean?
That was creepy. That was like when he wakes up and like it looks like he's in a bed or something, and it's just like.
Yeah. The thing. Well, and then
I had to put it on screen.
Of course you did. I appreciate that, Miguel. But yeah, I mean that story. And then I was talking to my friend Steve, and I just happened to bring this movie up. And granted, we were talking on the phone, but I could audibly hear my friend like epic Dana Scully eye roll, where he's like, and he just goes, and I was like, what? I'm like, I know that one's kind of like super campy, and it's one of those sci-fi movies. And he goes, no, that's not it. And I'm like, well, what's up? And he's like, well, Travis is my cousin. And I was like, BS. What? I'm like, BS. Proof. And so he took some pictures, like some family photos, and sure enough, there's him and Travis. And I'm like, what? I'm like, tell me all about it. And then like one of the questions I asked is like, do you believe him? Do you think that happened? And he said, personally, no, because that side of the family, or like you were saying, Marlene, they're a little different. You know what I mean? And I was like, but like, I don't know. I don't know what it was. But I love that movie. I absolutely love that movie. But yes.
Yeah. People have to watch that. Like, it's one of the best alien movies I've seen because I love that it turns out like as a true crime. I wish I didn't know it was an alien movie. I would have loved it more. Like, it would have been a good twist for me. But yeah, that was pretty good. I watched it on my phone because I got scared.
Yeah, those little guys definitely are a little bit spooky, but honestly, like the more you watch it, the less spooky they become. And now when I watch it, because I've seen it like a bajillion times, and I'll continue to watch it a billion more times, but once you watch it again, honestly, they just look like little grumpy men. That's really all.
It was in Arizona. I think that just like what kind of like creeps me out.
It's close to home.
Yeah.
They're watching. They're coming for you.
They would be bored with me. They'd be like, not her.
No, I don't know. I mean, it seems like they grab anybody and everybody. I mean, I've got some other stories for us for tonight where it just seems like none of these people really have anything in common. They're just kind of wrong place, wrong time or something like that. And they just, I don't know. It seems interesting to the little guys. So they just kind of
come back. That's like the interesting thing. Actually, I was reading about the woman from The Nanny, Fran. Forgot her last name.
Fran Drescher?
Yeah. She said she was abducted too, and her story made me laugh. She says when she was a teenager with her dad on the road, she was abducted, and she has a scar on her hand, and that they put a tracker on her. But then she meets her husband, and he said he was abducted too, and they have a scar in the same hand.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. So
well, then maybe like the tracker was so they could like find each other and get married.
Yeah, she said something like that they're divorced.
Oh, well.
But they're supposed to meet and marry, and they both have the same scar in their hand.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe that was the dealio. I don't know. I watched a documentary about UFOs and UFO abductions a long time ago, and like the number one question that a lot of people ask are like, why us? What do they want? Why are they taking us? You know what I mean? And one of the researchers, or maybe it was somebody from is it MUFON, the UFO group. I think it's MUFON, where they
MUFON, yeah.
They study UFOs and research and all this other stuff. And it was a representative from MUFON that was on the show, and he said, well, honestly, like, why do we trap animals and tag them?
That's what I thought with Fran and her. Like, you know how we tag people, like not people, animals?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And I was like, maybe they wanted to see what we do. Maybe we're like a TV show or something.
Maybe they just want to see what we're up to. Like, I know that you can like live stream at the zoo and you can just watch lions walking around and doing their thing. Maybe that's it. Maybe they're just watching. Who knows?
Oh,
Who knows?
we didn't ask you, what movie alien would you want to be abducted by?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, I forgot.
I said
okay.
E.T.
Oh, E.T.'s nice. He would just want to cuddle, I think.
Yeah.
What movie alien would I want to? Well, you know, I am the alien queen, and I love me a good xenomorph. But I don't think I'd want to be abducted by them because they would just jack me up and put a face hugger on me. I'm just
like really badass. Like saves the cat in her underwear. Like
I know.
Yeah.
No. First one she saves the cat, and then second one she has to save the kid, and then it goes on and on
she
and
gets
on.
The hot guy. She gets that hot guy. So I was like, okay.
Hicks. Yeah. Hicks. Yeah. The guy who plays Hicks was actually just on Mandalorian. He still looks great.
Oh, he still.
Yeah, he still looks great. Okay, movie alien I'd want to be abducted by. I'd want it to be, for as much as I love xenomorphs and how brutal they are.
Mm-hmm.
I'd think, like, for my first time around, like, just meeting an alien, I'd want it to be a nice guy. Maybe Paul. He might be a fun one because I could actually talk to him about stuff and understand things.
I like that movie too.
I forgot all about that.
You don't know about that? Why?
No, I forgot all about him, but that's a good one.
Oh, you forgot about him. Oh, okay. I thought you said, I don't know about that. I was like, why? He's cool. He's dope as shit. He drinks beer and hangs out.
But he sounds like Seth Rogen, so it's going to get annoying after a couple hours.
That's true. That is true. That's one of the downfalls. Yeah, maybe an alien like Paul, like somebody cool that could like be chill about things, kind of slowly ease me into being abducted. Somebody that doesn't want to do weird stuff with my body and like take my hair and skin.
That's what I told Miguel. I was like, I don't want to do any anal probing. Like that's like I was like, I think he's safe.
Yeah, I don't think E.T., but I don't know. He's got the glowy finger.
Yeah,
maybe that does something. I don't know.
That's what you missed. We were talking about his finger.
I'm so sorry I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would want to have a cool guy, somebody chill, and then I can like work my way up to like dealing with bad guys, or I don't know, maybe just throw me into the fire and give me a xenomorph and see how it turns out. Probably not very good, but who knows? Let's see how I handle it. Maybe I can just bitch slap one of them and be like, now listen here, you need to kill. Let's work it out. But who knows? I don't know. Until it happens, I couldn't accurately say. So
I think that's what I find fascinating. We don't know if they're good, bad, if they would look like us, if it looked like a dog, a monster.
Yeah. Well, I've always said, like, when it comes to alien abduction, if or just aliens in general, if they were bad and wanted to do something bad, they would have done it. Yeah, like a long, long time ago. But who knows? Maybe they already did. I mean, there's all these theories that, like, the comet that killed the dinosaurs was actually like aliens giving us something. Certain. I know, Miguel, we were talking about on our space diseases episode. That was one thing that we said, like, hey, maybe they sent it here to like wipe us out. Like, do over. Let's start again. Let's try again. You know what I mean? But like, do I think an alien race is going to come down like on Independence Day and just blow us all to kingdom come? I don't know. I don't think so. I think if they wanted to, they would have already. They have more than enough opportunity. You know what I mean? To just do away with us. But I don't think that's what they're interested in. I think they're just curious. They're just like,
oh, want to us. We're like, they're just like, ew, humans. They see.
Honestly, I think that's it. Yeah, they come to Earth and they're like, uh-oh, the ghetto. What are we doing here?
Like, no.
Exactly. We're their Jerry Springer. They just want to watch. They think we're dumb and funny. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it, honestly. But yeah, so we got Travis Walton down. I pulled up a couple of different stories. Of course, there's always the really popular ones. Travis is one of those. Whenever we talk about abductions, of course, the infamous Barney and Betty Hill from back in the 60s. That's one that always comes up. That one took place 1961. I've heard conflicting stories. I don't know if it was New Hampshire or Vermont. And my research, at least, I had two conflicting stories as far as like where exactly it happened. But so yeah, this is back in the 60s. One of the very first abduction stories to really like gain traction and get people to pay attention. Like, oh, this is an actual thing. Like this is really happening. And also the Betty and Barney Hill story inspired Project Blue Book, which I know a lot of people out there might know. But if you don't know, Project Blue Book was is basically just sort of like a government program that was set up to investigate UFO sightings, domestic UFO sightings here in the U.S. And so I know Project Blue Book is kind of that shadowy government group that,
Yeah, that sounded familiar. I was like, Blue Book. Like,
yeah. So, you've got like people coming in with reports of UFOs or, pilots, and they say, oh, we've got something flying around in here. Blue Book is usually the shadowy group that kind of literally swoops in and it's like, oh, we'll take over this. We're going to look into this. And they're usually the ones that kind of are the first to put those stories out to dispel the fact that it's a UFO. Like another famous UFO thing in Arizona, of course, Phoenix Lights. I don't think there's really an abduction like attached to that, but huge thing in UFO history is Phoenix Lights there in Arizona. But Blue Book was kind of the group that investigated that, and they're the ones that came out and said, oh no, it's not UFO formation. It's flares from a military plane, which nobody bought. But that's the group that comes out and does that.
The government lies a lot, yeah.
They like to lie.
I think most of it is just crowd control, really, because I think if it were to be like, even though within the recent months government has kind of changed their mind about it and they're slowly like saying, okay, yeah, there's something there, we're still not going to tell you all the info about it, but we will acknowledge that there's been goofiness afoot up in the sky, but we're not going to say like yes or no for sure, because
I feel like Area 51 is like the fake one, but there's another real one. Like that's just
absolutely. Yeah,
I 100% agree with you. That one's like the fall guy, and then there's like the other one that nobody really there they are, Phoenix Lights, huge formation seen basically all across the state of Arizona, but Phoenix more specifically. Hundreds of thousands of phone calls to emergency services, to Air Force, to Army, all of that stuff. Like, what is this? What's going on? And yeah, it was just, what was it, like, I think it was a couple of hours maybe, or maybe even less than that. These lights in this perfect like little V formation just kind of flew over the state of Arizona and just hung out for a little while. Nothing bad happened. There was no explosions. There was nothing. Just these, to me, it's quite pretty. It was just like these pretty little lights just kind of flew over the city, real quiet, real slow, just hung out. And then went away.
Yeah, I wonder. Okay, quick question for the both of you. I'll go do that real quick. I'm gonna start with Marlene on this one. If you saw those, and obviously it already looks different than say you see an airplane passing by. You know what those lights look like. We all know what that looks like now. We've seen drones in the sky. They definitely don't usually go in a pattern like that. What would your first reaction be? Would you be one of those people who films it? Would you go inside, or would you just try to take it in for a second? Just watch and just stare and just be in awe for a moment.
That reminds me of Travis Walton, because like he got out of the car and he went towards the light, and I was thinking, dude, you're the guy who dies first in a horror movie. Like he got out and everybody stayed in, and I was like, that's why you got abducted, because he went out. But I remember this was like a couple years back that we did see a light and people were watching it, but I didn't take video of it. It was like such a weird light. It wasn't something, I'm trying to remember it, but I remember thinking this is so weird and people were staring at it too.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't take video. I was just like admiring it. But I wouldn't go
fair.
towards it. I wouldn't go
Yeah.
near it.
I don't know. I mean, I've had a couple of experiences myself where, I've just been outside at night or driving in my car at night and I just happen to look up and just see something. And I'm like, it's not that you don't recognize it. Like you just get this immediate feeling inside of you, like in your gut where you're like, that's not anything I've ever seen before. It's like, it's like I've never heard a weird noise though. Like I've heard that people usually hear like weird noises, like a hissing noise or kind of like a beeping or a buzzing or something like that. I've never heard that, but I've just been outside in certain areas where like I've just looked up and seen something and I'm like, that's not. But like I'm saying, it's like you don't even really comprehend it. You just feel it immediately where you're like, this isn't, I don't recognize this at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then same thing with you. Same thing. Yeah, totally. And same thing with you, Marlene, is like, I tell people these stories and they're like, why didn't you take a picture? I'm like, I was glued to it. Like, it didn't even occur to me to take a picture because you're just staring at whatever.
Right? Like it's kind of weird to explain, but
you're like you're trying to figure it out. You're like. Right, like you're just trying to rationalize it. You're trying to figure it out. Like, what is that? What's going? Like, but you're just glued to it. And so, and everyone nowadays is like,
with the Phoenix light. When you were saying,
but
I totally get that. Yeah.
Like, pics or it didn't happen, and I'm like, I don't have any because I was looking at it. I don't know. I didn't take the time. Sorry. It was for me only. And then that's what I think. I'm like, they just showed up for me. They were just showing up for me.
And even then, you're probably like, maybe your gut feeling's telling you, should I run? Should I stay? Like, what? You don't know what it is, too. You're not gonna stay there and take a picture and.
Yeah. Because I mean, if there's any kind of feeling where you're like, this isn't good. Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to see if maybe I can't get back on my computer right now, but in the meantime, let's talk a little bit more about Betty and Barney Hill. I know that that's an old one. I don't know if any of you guys out there know anything about Betty and Barney Hill, but like I said, it's one of the very first abduction stories, inspired Project Blue Book. A lot of the story comes from not Betty and Barney's like direct memory of the incident. Like a lot of these came from afterwards, like a few years afterwards or a few months afterwards. Betty and Barney started having these dreams where like then the information started coming back to them. So it's kind of like a repressed memory that just randomly decided to pop out and say, oh, this really happened. And then, once their stories started gaining attention, they actually both went under hypnosis, which was really controversial at the time. Because back in the 60s, I mean, now we don't think anything of being hypnotized to get more information. But back then that was real weird and spacey. And so both Barney and Betty were hypnotized separately, individually. And then, their stories were kind of compared and contrasted. And their stories were completely the same, completely matched up, which is one of the things that leads me to believe that maybe that was a legit thing, because they're under hypnosis. So there's no way that they could have like if you believe in hypnosis, I mean, there's no way they could have like pre-planned a script or a story together and like rehearsed it. And then they're both, they're completely the same. It's like completely the same story. Granted, they had different experiences because when they were abducted, they were separated from each other. But as far as what happened when they were abducted, the dates, the times, how long it was, completely the same story.
And then talked about them. And I was telling him how, since they were one of the first ones, they couldn't copy someone else's story. So it sounds more legit to me.
Exactly. And then one of the things that really blew my mind was during one of Betty's hypnosis sessions, she drew from memory a complete star map of where her and Barney went while they were abducted. And, you know, they were saying that they were in the Zeta Reticuli star system, which is a real thing, which does exist. And it's about 39.17 light years from Earth. And she drew this star map of where Zeta Reticuli is from memory, and it was completely correct, like 100% correct. And she had
I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
She had never seen it before. She had no idea. She couldn't recreate it while she was like you and I, like lucid, but she could only do it while she was hypnotized, and it was 100% correct. So yeah, there's Betty, and there's her little drawings that she did, you know, from memory, of the Zeta Reticuli star system, which again is a real thing. It really is out there, which is where she claimed her and Barney went when they went on their little vacation with our brothers from another galaxy. So, you know, as far as their story correlating, they both recounted that they were missing time, which is another really common thing in alien abductions. It's like when you get abducted to when you come back, all of a sudden you're missing like 2, 3, 4+ hours. In Travis's case, it was days, you know.
He thought he was gone for an hour, and it was 5 days.
It was 5 days, like, you know, and you have no recollection of that time or what was happening. Like, you thought it was just, you blink. It was like 1 second you're here, and then the next, and it's like, no, man, you've been gone for like 2 hours, or you can't remember. Like, you don't know. It's like when you black out, when you're drunk, like you have no idea.
When you take a nap and you think you're only going to sleep for 15 minutes, and it's like 3 hours later, and you're like, what? Like,
oh yeah, I do that way too often. That's why I procrastinate so bad. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Real quick though, a couple of questions for you guys in the comments here. I'm going to start with Bob. They made a movie. It's not so much a question, but they made a movie about Betty and Barney Hill. And let me get that picture up here. A little screenshot from it.
Actually.
Yeah. They and here's just a picture from one, and I believe that's supposed to be young Lawrence Fishburne.
Is that?
If I remember correctly, yeah, I think he was the one in that, because there was in the 70s.
I think there's James Earl Jones, actually.
No, James Earl Jones. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I got their names mixed up for no good reason. Excuse me. Gosh dang, let me get to.
Is that supposed to be their friends that came and picked them up?
That is supposed to be actually those are representatives of Germany during the 60s and 70s. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's just kidding.
I was gonna say, what's going on in Germany in the 60s, man?
Yeah, they still had some weird feelings about those people over there. You know, it just is what it is. No, I'm just kidding. And then Moonshine asks, "Have you guys seen The 100?"
Is that a show?
I believe so.
I've seen a little bit of The 100. No shade to anybody that enjoys it. It was a little too camp for me, but I like the storyline of it. I've read more about it than I've actually seen it, and I enjoy the storyline. Do you remember on the Sci-Fi Channel back in the day? I think it was like early 2000s. They did Taken. It was like a TV mini series. Do you remember that at all?
No, I don't remember that one.
Oh, that was great. That was a good one. Again, it's early 2000s, so it's probably a little aged now, but essentially it was kind of the same concept as The 100. Like, a bunch of people who have been abducted over the years got returned.
Let me see.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Got returned back to Earth, and then like all of these people are from all different time periods, and so they get returned, and I don't know what time. I don't know if it's like present day they got returned, or if it was like, I'm not entirely sure, but then it's like all of these people trying to reacclimate to life. You know, they've been gone for so long, and then like a bunch of other trippy stuff happens. It's pretty good. Like I said, it might be a little dated because it's early 2000s Sci-Fi Channel stuff, but if you're into that, you'll totally dig it.
I couldn't find it.
Taken is pretty cool, but yeah, so kind of similar to The 100. I think that's what the 100 is about people that got abducted, and then it was a group of 100 people, and then they got returned and it's kind of like their story. I think that's what it is.
Oh, I kind of want to see it.
I'm definitely have to check that out. Yeah, that sounds pretty dang good.
I think it has to be on like Netflix or Hulu or one of those. I think.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I will find that after the show then, because I'm gonna have to binge watch for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's the story plot line to the 100. There was a plane that took off and then disappeared.
That's what it was. Okay.
That'd be terrifying.
Can you imagine? I already get nervous when I fly on airplanes, and then to be on a plane, and then just my luck. You know.
Wait, isn't there a Stephen King TV show about that where they're on the plane, but they land? Oh, wait, it's not aliens. They land somewhere else.
I don't know about that.
There's that Twilight Zone story where he's on the plane. Or remember William Shatner? It's on the wing.
Oh, love that episode. Oh, it's good stuff.
You know what?
Dark Side. No, what was it? So many memories. I'm trying to think of that movie where he sees something on the window of the plane. Was that an alien?
That's what I'm talking about. It's Twilight Zone.
Oh,
Twilight Zone.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the one from the 60s has William Shatner, and then when they did the redux of the series, and like I think it was like the 80s or 90s, then it was John Lithgow.
Yes.
That's the one I'm thinking about. Yeah.
And that one, because I used to watch all this spooky stuff when I was a kid. It explains who I am today. But that one, I saw that one when I was a kid, and that one scared the bejesus out of me, because in the William Shatner one, honestly, the creature just looks like a big teddy bear. But then when they redid it, it's like a little creepy demon with like sharp teeth, and he's just ripping the plane apart, but nobody else sees it but him, and they think he's going crazy.
He looks crazy. Yeah. That's why I was confused. I was like, Tales of the Dark Side? Because I didn't know there was a remake of that. And I was trying to think. I was like, no, I think it was the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it's Twilight Zone for real. And then I won't give away the ending, but the ending of that episode is just
it's
so
good.
So affirming.
Poor Lex is about to get on a plane, and we're talking about a plane disappearing and coming back 5 years.
No.
Oh no! Well,
you're safe.
Just you're gonna be fine. You'll be fine. They'll enjoy your company. You're gonna be fine. But Miguel, I don't know if you can find a picture of that creature that I was talking about.
You want the original one or the other one?
The new one, the one with John Lithgow that scared the crap out of me when I was a kid.
I remember I liked that a lot.
I'm gonna see it now, and it's not gonna be shit. I'm gonna laugh at how funny it was that I was scared of it.
Well,
but
I don't know about that. I just need to all right, give me a second and I will do my best. Let me see what I can do here.
Like Twilight Zone airplane demon or something like that. I don't know.
Well, don't worry. No, I got you. Don't worry. I'm just trying to find a good one.
Oh, or it's like nice and clear, not just like a picture from the TV. I don't know.
Okay, this is the best it's gonna be. All right, I've got it. Give me 1 second. I'll have it on screen for you guys.
Oh, I'm not ready. Well, let me distract myself. Well, in the meantime, we have a couple other little cool abduction stories that I found doing some research today. These are kind of smaller stories, not ones that are as popular as like some other ones that I've heard, but these are ones that at least have some credibility, like ones that are a little bit more there it is. I hate it.
Oh, I forgot how good that creature was.
Oh God, it's excellent creature design, but I hate that thing. That thing gave me nightmares for weeks. I don't know what it was. I'm completely right. Now that I look at it, it ain't nothing. But that, when I was about 6 or 7.
That scared the shit out of you.
No shit. Like, that's very creepy for a 6-year-old.
I'm just remembering the part where like they show him I don't know if he's on the wing or just on the back of the plane or just posted up on the engine, and he's just with those long claws, he's just ripping those wires out, and then he turns and looks at the camera, and he's like gah, 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 like with his teeth.
He does do a gah 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 at them. I believe that is technical term.
That's what it's called, a gah gah gah. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't like it.
The worst part that nobody believed him. He would only show up for that guy.
Honestly, though, It's a gremlin. I like the comments. I'm sorry, guys. I will get back to you guys. The episode, yes, Nightmare on 20,000 Feet, the original in the series. Honestly, this is the series one. If I saw this on my plane, I would shit myself.
That was my first thought.
No, there's no way I would want to see that staring at me while we're in the air.
Oh, come
No.
on.
Hell no. I would pass out and pee myself.
I would take that over the guy that we just looked at, though, in a heartbeat.
I don't know. Neither one of them is like, I'm not happy about it. I'm mad about this situation.
Oh, totally.
No faces in airplane windows. That'd be great.
Just
100%.
keep the shade down. Just keep the shade down. Don't worry about it. Focus on your peanuts. Yeah, just focus on your peanuts and your tiny little Coke that they give you, and just, it's fine. Everything's fine.
They have,
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they have alcohol on the plane. I think.
Yeah, I would be drinking. Yeah. I would definitely be drinking.
Right. Hashtag shade for days. Yeah, absolutely. Just keep the shade down.
And honestly, I'd feel safer with Shatner around than I would with Lithgow. No offense, I love Lithgow, but Shatner can fight aliens better, I think. I'm just saying.
You know what? Captain Kirk. I mean, he's got that experience. If anything, he would just try to bang it, maybe.
Oh God.
I mean, but it works. It works out in the end. He just bangs it and everything's fine. Right?
And that's how we got COVID here.
that's how we got COVID, alien banging.
That's exactly it. Bring back hashtag space burn. That's what it was, man. That's what it was. I don't know. I wouldn't be into it. Definitely. Okay, so you guys asked me, like, what kind of alien would I want to be abducted by? Mm-hmm. Not that guy.
Yeah.
Not
that guy. Although, looking at those claws, I mean, he could have a decent full set going on. So maybe he could give me some nail tips.
Well, I was just saying how I had to go because I broke the acrylic in my undernail on the bottom. So it was all broken, so they had to put a fake one in. Freaking out. I was like, it hurts so much. I was like sweating, and I was telling them it would not work for alien abduction.
No.
You know what I'm doing?
Would you pick the nail breaking or hashtag space STDs, which would be, I guess, in this case,
well,
I guess coronavirus is now a space STD.
That's how it happened.
It's how it happened. You know what I did? In all this conversation about the window demon, I'm sitting by my bedroom window and I had my blinds open and I shut them.
And it's dark. No.
Oh, man, that'd be wonderful.
I hate
it
that.
Would not.
Just
boom. Like, people that don't have any shades or anything, no curtains, I'm like, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Like, at night, people can see you.
Do you guys remember, I forget the name of it, but it was a documentary that I watched a couple of years ago. Now, fully admitting that I had just had my wisdom teeth out, so I was on some pain medication, but I decided to watch this alien documentary, really late one night. I couldn't sleep because I was in a little bit of pain. And it was about this guy, his name's Stan something, who had been, like, not abducted, or maybe he had been abducted. Yes, Stan Olin. Okay, so did you watch that documentary about how, like, aliens were, like, peeking in his windows and stuff like that? And there's that really famous video of the one, like, peeking around the corner of, like, his sliding glass door.
I'm going to find that right now real quick. I'll have that on screen for you guys so you can see it.
I think the video itself is called Peekaboo or something like that. Now, since that story has come out, it's been debunked how he could totally fake that. But, like, when you first see it, just like this little alien face just kind of like peeking around the corner at you. But then that was the thing that I noticed. All of his windows, no shades, no blinds, just fully can see right through it. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah, my friend was house sitting one time and she was like, stay with me. And I saw like the windows didn't have curtains or windows and I was like, no, sorry.
No, we're not doing this.
It just like freaks me out. I'm like, there's something wrong with them. Like, I feel, I don't know. People
no shade if they're exhibitionists or something like that, that's fine. But like, I don't want aliens like peeking at me. I don't know. Like, I'm not afraid of them, but that doesn't mean that I want them peeking, Yeah.
Creepy
weirdo.
Yeah, but you saw that all drugged up? Because I had my wisdom teeth removed too, and they gave me hard drugs with that.
Yeah. So I'm
I was
watching this,
pretty-
and like me, somebody who's like totally into aliens, right? And I'm like drugged up, but it legit freaked me out. Like I had to turn it off for a second.
Yeah.
And I had all the lights off in my house. You know, I had to like turn my kitchen light on and like watch something else for a little while.
Oh, I would have to too. Yeah, it would get to me. It kind of gets to me even in my most sober moments because I believe in aliens and stuff.
Totally, man. I mean, like, here's me touting out the mouth right now, talking about, oh, I'm not scared. Like, I want to meet an alien. I think they're cool. But then at the same time, if I'm walking to my car from Walmart or Target or something and it's after dark and one just popped out of the bushes, I would shit my pants. I'd be like, ah!
Full diaper works, yes.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, we really don't know what they look like. I mean, the most reported alien is like the gray with like the big oval head and the giant eyes and the whatever, but even though we already have an idea, kind of, we still have no idea. Oh, is this the peeker?
This is the one. You want me to play it real quick?
Yes, play it real quick.
All right, I'm gonna make this full size so everyone can see as best we can, and then I'll bring you guys back in like 30 seconds.
I hate it.
I already love it. I got it queued up to like right before too, so it won't be very long.
All right. See, no drapes, no shades, no blinds, wide ass open window. The anticipation. Oh, I can't deal with it.
I know.
Ah! You see it?
Yeah. Oh, you can't see me. I was pointing at it.
Oh. Look at that little bastard. Get out of here.
Kind of looks like my uncle a little bit.
Ah, and there he goes.
Oh, that fucker is gone. Oh, bad.
Whoa.
I can't do
Oh,
it.
bad.
I can't imagine being drugged up because I remember how I felt during that week of my wisdom teeth removed and then with the drugs, just like.
Yeah, I'm super loopy, you know, just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna watch alien stuff because I'm cool.
And swollen.
And swollen, and then that shit. And I'm like, nope. And there's like, in that documentary, there's a couple other videos that are like that, where he's just kind of caught them like peeking in and looking. We don't like that when humans do that. Like, no. I mean,
I don't like it when people enter my room without knocking, so.
True.
Same thing. Robert says, hey, he just wanted to borrow a cup of sugar. That may be true, but he could just knock on the door, man.
There's Walmart. Go to Walmart. Go to Target.
Dollar store. I mean, they have sugar. Yeah. But if you need sugar, that's fine, dude. Just come knock on the door.
What if you give it too much sugar and it gets alien, diabetes, and then it has to do a commercial? Oh, that would be. Oh man, now I'm sad for the alien now.
Well, then he should know that he shouldn't have sugar.
Yeah.
But what if you want to bake delicious alien cookies? You're being very negative. I don't appreciate you guys. Let them enjoy the sugar. No, I'm just kidding.
Do aliens eat though? I think they're too smart for that. I don't think
the draconians, yes, because they eat. They feed off of negative energy or orgone energy, and they will eat organic matter that is left over from experimentation. That was that's a whole conspiracy. That's like way nerdish. I just like dropped something horrible on you guys. I apologize, but that is like
I've never
that is a true thing.
No,
that is
you're correct.
fake.
I forgot about those douches. Yeah, if you want to get into alien lore and all the different species, I mean, you could even start talking about reptilians and how they eat us.
Those people?
Yes.
Yeah, that is so. I kind of believe that. I don't know why. I weirdly believe that. The lizard people.
I don't know. I'm not gonna discredit it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, when I was in my early mid-20s, I was like super into conspiracy theories. Like I fully believed in like all sorts of batshit stuff. Not that that's batshit, but you know what I mean? Like I was fully into all sorts of things, and I got really deep into reptilians, and that's not an alien that I would want to hang out with at all.
Have you seen the pictures with the queen?
Yes.
And she's like a lizard person.
Like her face morphs and stuff like that. Yeah. No.
Ooh.
But you know what? The thing with reptilians though is like, I think if they're really that smart to like be here and live among us, you think that their like face technology would be a little bit different. They wouldn't be slipping up all the time and like, oh, did you see it? I caught it. You know what I mean? Like when they blink or.
I don't. But how do you feel about glitches in the Matrix then? Because that's like.
I like reading the stories on Reddit
about
the glitch
reptilians or
no, the glitch in the Matrix.
You know what? I'm a 1,000% believer that because I'm a huge Matrix fan. Bakersfield people they know that about me, I guess. But I'm a huge Matrix fan. I have a Matrix tattoo. I'm like totally into the whole Matrix universe because it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Great backstory.
Oh yeah, but now that I know all this stuff about Matrix and I'm such a huge fan, now every time I get deja vu, I'm like, oh, they changed something. Like, oh, what is it? You know what I mean? Because there's that scene in the Matrix where, like, if you get deja vu, that means that they changed something in the Matrix. And then in the first movie, it turns out that they changed the window, so they can't get out. Like the window got blocked up, and then there's that huge fight scene. And...
Whoa! Wait! Sorry, I had to cut you off. New Matrix trailer?
Yes,
what?
You guys. Yes.
Oh, okay. Show over. I'm gonna go watch. Sorry, guys. It's more important.
It's not out yet, Miguel. No. Set your alarm. Thursday morning, 6 a.m. HBO Max premieres.
Oh, I will be on a plane literally watching that then as I take off. I will watch it as I take off.
Do it if you can. And then, of course, probably later somebody will repost it on YouTube. It'll be all over the place later that day. But I literally have my alarm set. I get up at 6:30 to go to work anyway, but like I have another alarm set for like 5:45.
So fuck yeah.
Turn on my TV and get into it. I'm so stoked about this. Everyone's like poo-pooing a new Matrix movie. They're like, oh, it's been too long and all this, that, and the other. I don't care. I'm into it.
Fuck yeah. No, I 100% agree. There's a dark story behind the Matrix though, and how it was stolen from a creator. I would love to go into that sometime. But here's one last thing to leave you guys on because we are at the end of our hour right now.
I have people, but it's okay. We had so many things to talk about. Like,
we could do a part 2 sometime, or we could save it for like a bonus episode. Tell me that's not an alien right there.
Yeah,
she is a reptilian.
About her, like, just so cold, and the way she treated Princess Diana.
And the new lady too. What's her name? Gosh dang it! What is the new?
Camilla?
Why?
Camilla,
what was it?
Camilla something.
Williams.
I truly don't remember her name. I apologize.
The one that married the prince, the king.
Yeah, well, something like that. Although I just know that they don't treat outsiders well whatsoever. Megan.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, they just.
Megan seems like she's okay. Everybody hates her, but I think she's all right. No, are you talking about the one who married? The one who married William?
Yeah, they treat her terribly. Like they don't like her at all. Megyn Kelly, I think maybe. No,
not Megyn Kelly.
No,
Meghan Markle.
Yeah. It's because she was black too, right? They're very whitewashed, like.
Right.
Well, yeah, that does have something to do with it. Honestly, that's very sad to say, but
I'm sure it does. And they have a known pedophile in the family that they haven't dethroned or anything like that too. So
what? Who?
Prince Andrew?
Oh man, we got to go into all that too.
I know. There's so many things.
the conspiracy theory of the child
royal family.
Yeah, and not just the royal family, but like U.S. politicians, Russian politicians, Sikhs throughout the Middle East, friggin' people in power in Asia, in North and South America, everywhere. And they're all connected, and they're all friggin' evil.
Ugh, God.
But let's leave it on that bummer of a note.
On that note.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Bye.
Oh, will you guys let them know about the podcast, please?
Yeah. Guys, if you haven't heard, this is totally exciting. So, brand new on the scene. We just started yesterday. We're slowly branching out, climbing out to all sorts of different podcast platforms, wherever you listen to podcasts. If we're not there, we're going to be there soon. But essentially, you're going to hear the podcast version of Girls, Gore, and Gin, which is essentially, you know, if you don't like looking at our beautiful faces, which...
Crazy.
What the fuck is wrong with you? But if you don't, if you'd rather, or if you don't have the ability to watch our live show, you can listen to our podcast version. So, you know, you can listen to the podcast version of Girls, Gore, and Gin, which is also useful. Cool. Give us props. Listen to us talk about weird stuff. Really exciting. But yeah, we just, Miguel, if I'm incorrect, let me know. But we just started uploading yesterday. And then, yeah, slowly, you know, over the next few days, it'll be branching out to all different places. So like I said, if it's not on your favorite podcast app yet, if you can't find us, we will be there soon. And then, you know, if you have any other podcast apps that we haven't covered, what is it, Miguel? We're Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Yes.
One I brought up earlier.
This is actually a big thanks to Marlene for getting me on the ball with this, because she recommended Spotify first. So thank you so much. We are on Spotify. We are on Anchor. And then the other ones will be coming very soon. There is, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Overcast, Castbox, Breaker, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts will be automatically going in the next week or so. Takes them a minute. Takes them a little bit. But we will get it going very soon, guys. But this episode will be on there tonight or tomorrow morning. And then every time a new show goes on, that'll go on there. This one will be Girls, Gore, and Gin AZ, talks about alien abductions. And then Girls, Gore, and Gin original will be the same title. And then when the girls from Las Vegas get started, it will be Girls, Gore, and Gin LV. So it will all tie together in a network form.
So that way there's no way that you can miss us. Or if you do miss an episode, just head on over to the podcast and take a listen, or just look out for our reposts. And then, I mean, there's really no reason why you shouldn't be watching or listening.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's that easy. For
my
real.
friend in the lab, and she was like, it's easier for me to listen while I'm experimenting on things. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea.
That sounds so cool.
Experimenting on things.
She does like experiments like for cancer or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Is she creating zombies?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to get her on the show ASAP.
Right. I was gonna say, is this like a rage virus, like 28 days later situation that we should worry about?
Don't worry.
Okay.
I like Lex right here. She will find a way on your timeline no matter what.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
We're coming through. We're coming in.
It's coming to you every day. All right, guys, let's wrap this up. Marlene, close this out, yeah?
Thank you for watching and listening. I had a good time. And Bree, thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. So glad I could pop in and visit Arizona virtually. Absolutely. Yeah, I know. I had a great time. Hopefully we can do this again. If you guys ever do like another alien episode, it's kind of like my expertise, if you will, then more than happy to join in. But yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to fill in. And Lex, if you said she was on a plane, she's going on vacation, she's flying. Yes. If you're watching, fly safe, have fun, enjoy yourself. We'll hold the fort down until you get back.
All right, everybody. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Have a good one, guys.
Close your shades. Close your blinds.